I've got what was a mayonnaise holder or something like that from an instant meal salad or whatever, and I've punched a couple of holes in the top. I've put some flour in, so whenever I just need to have a dusting of flour, there it is. Easy, simple to do. Why didn't you think of that? So today we're going to make some flatbread. I've got about a cup of regular flour. I've got about 1/6 of a cup of olive oil. I'll probably need a little bit more to brush over the top later. A little bit, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking powder. Probably about half a cup of water would do. Again, we'll do that to just whatever it needs. And here's just some nice tasty stuff to throw over the top. Now here I've got some dried fried onion type flakes, which are gorgeous. I've also got some cilantro in there, I think, and some chives. It doesn't really matter, whatever you want to use up works. Smells good already. So I'm going to make a dough first, and then we'll take it from there. So just the same as I've shown you before, I've got just mixing it up with the back of a wooden spoon, because I find that works really well. And this consistency that you will see, right, it's just going very nicely actually. It's just going into a nice ball all by itself. Now I'm just making one flatbread. I should probably make this into two, but I'm not making a lot of it. Now it's still a little stickier than I would like, so I'm going to add a little bit more flour to it. Just literally doesn't need a whole lot, probably eighth of a cup. Okay, and that looks a lot better to me, but we'll find out. Might need a little bit more, but the main thing is we want it to be manageable. Now I think I've told you this before, I like to make my doughs in a bowl rather than on a flat. And I just find it's easier when you're kneading it to knead it against the side of a bowl. And look at that. Whoever thought you could make dough without getting all sticky? Well, you can. It took me a while to work out how to do it, but it works for me. Now, how many times do you need to... I'm literally just pulling it here and pushing it there. Pulling it here, pushing it. In case any of you don't know how to knead. I find normally if you do this about 50 times, it's super. If it still feels a little sticky, you know, literally just take a little bit of flour like that and just add a little bit more in. This actually doesn't need it, but I just wanted to show you you can do that if you're finding it's, you know, still a little sticky against your hands. And there we go. Now, the other thing I like to do with any dough is to roll it into itself. Okay, let me try and think how to describe that. You can probably see I'm taking this, bending it under all the time, stretching it. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more flour to that, because as I'm stretching it, it's just a little stickier than I would like. Not much. There we go, that's working nicely now. And it's another very important thing I find to do with dough. Okay, stretching it out. Now I'm going to leave this covered in the bowl for, actually probably about half an hour. And before I do that, I'm just going to take a little drizzle of olive oil, like that, and just work that into the top of it. It's going to taste so good. Now, if you like to have a flatbread where all the flavouring is right the way through it, then obviously what you can do is just add some like this, and then continue to keep working it into the dough. Just going to see how all that's gone. I just literally keep working it through. There we go. You can probably see it coming up to the surface, and I'm still kneading it in. Looks so good. Okay, so I'm going to now just give it another drizzle of olive oil into the fact I was playing there, which is how I cook, as you know. So just roll a bit more olive oil over it, and then I'm going to cover it with a bit of plastic wrap and put it in the fridge for half an hour. So here is our dough. We're just going to roll it out a little. Just going to put some seasoning on there, and then I'm going to roll it in a little bit. Do the same on the other side. Go. And then I'm just going to give it a touch of oil. It was more than a touch, but yum. It's going to taste good. I've put it in the Halogon at 350. Wait a second. Doesn't that look gorgeous? And I've got some balsamic vinegar and olive oil to dip it into. That was really successful.